everybody, you saw that title. Today we're going to be making chicken parm. Now let's get right into it. Alright, so to start out with our chicken, I have 2 fairly large chicken breasts here. You can buy the chicken that's already cut. They do have them where they sell what they call tenders or thinner slices, but this is a whole chicken breast. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut this down this way to get it thinner. You don't want to cook it when it's thick like this. You want to have a nice thin fillet of chicken breast. So let's go ahead and just cut it the long way, like so. I may be able to actually cut 2. Let's see. So this, you see, it's all shaved off the top for the most part. So now I have a whole second fillet here. I actually wanted to cook evenly, so I'm going to cut off this little side piece. And this is still a little thick for me. You can actually use a mallet or a meat tenderizer thing to make it thinner, but I'm going to go ahead and just slice it again to get it thinner. So here I ended up with a tiny piece, but this is fine. So this is kind of what I'm looking for, this thickness. And then just cut off this little extra strip of fat. It won't harm anything, but we'll go ahead and just trim that right off. So now I have 2 here, a little tiny piece over here, which I will fry that up as well. Make us a little chicken tender. So let's put this on the side. And let's go ahead and cut. Same thing, this is when it's very thick as well. It's a whole chicken breast. So I'm going to go ahead and slice it. Actually, I'm going to slice it from this side to get us a nice thin fillet. I don't want them to be super thick. Alright, so this is a nice piece right here. So that's one, and again, this is a little thick, so I'm going to cut off this excess piece over here again. And it's still a little thick, so I'm going to go ahead and try to make another. Let's see how well I can cut this. Should be able to cut it and get us a whole nother fillet. Yep. So this one is actually really good. It's nice and thin, and I have a whole nother piece here. Alright, again, you can just cut off any little excess fat. Trim that off. Also have a piece over here. Just gonna trim that off and make this a little nugget. So now that we have our chicken trimmed up, I'm gonna go ahead and get it on a plate so we can season it. So just shift this a little here, bringing this plate here. And I'm just going to place them right on here. They've already been pre-rinsed. And I'm going to get some seasoning on these. But first, let me see. Yep, I'm going to be able to fit it all. And I'm going to go ahead and get some seasoning. Right? So again, let me wash my hands. All right, I'll wash my hands. Let me move this cutting board out the way. Okay, so here we have our chicken. Okay, so let's get some seasoning. We have some salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and paprika. And for the ease of this, I'm just gonna mix it all together. There's no need to really have them separated. So let me just give this a quick mix. I'm just going to mix them all together in one bowl. Alrighty, so here's our mixed seasoning. And since I already went ahead and washed my hands, I'm going to try not to get them messy again. So I'm going to go ahead and use tongs to turn them. So we're just going to pour the seasoning directly over the chicken and use the tongs to turn it since I've already washed my hands. I'm going to get them. Alrighty. Okay, so let's go ahead and season the other side. Again, just pour it right on there. And the exact seasoning measurements will be in the description below. Okay, and I'm just going to give it a little mix here. All right, this is good enough. And I'll save the remainder of this for my other little pieces of chicken over there. All right, so now that we got these seasoned up, let's work on the next step, which is to get them breaded up. All right, so now that we're finished with seasoning our chicken, we're going to go ahead and start this breading process. So I'm going to go ahead and just crack 2 eggs, if I can get it open, minus the shell, of course. Don't need that. Not sure why that egg gave me a hard time to open. It didn't want me to be great. All right, so let's go ahead and just whip these 2 eggs. So I'm going to just go ahead and take one of our chicken fillets, put it in our egg batter, both sides. Let the excess drip off like so, and go straight into our breadcrumbs. So here I just have regular seasoned breadcrumbs. I'm going to show you. So it's just regular seasoned breadcrumbs. You can use whatever kind you like. I've seen different types of breadcrumbs. This is just some regular seasoned breadcrumbs. Just want to get both sides coated. That's good right there. Right. And I'm going to go directly into our skillet here. Okay, our oil isn't ready yet, so we might as well go ahead and continue to bread our chicken fillets. Let's go ahead and turn it in the egg on both sides and go directly into our breadcrumbs. Let's go ahead and get the next fillet ready. So go ahead, turn it over. Just want to make sure it's nicely coated with the breadcrumbs. All right, let's check our oil. It looks like it's almost ready. You want it to be nice and hot before you start putting the chicken in there, because you want it to cook to a golden brown, you know, pretty quick. Just look like it's pretty much there. So I'm going to go ahead and let's come over here now. And let's see, this looks ready. Yes. So let's put our first one in. Okay. And let's get our second one. And here we go. Put that right in here. And you're going to watch it. In this pan, I'm using canola oil. You can use vegetable oil, olive oil. So I'm just going to go ahead and cook that for approximately 3 minutes on both sides until it's nice and golden brown. Flip it over and get the other side nice and golden brown as well. Alright, so let me go ahead and get this cooking. And I'll bread the rest of the chicken while these two are cooking. Alright everybody, so we are back. These have been cooking for 3.5 minutes on one side and 3 minutes on the other. And as you can see, they are nice and golden brown. So let's go ahead and get them out. So I'm just going to place them on a plate with some paper towels to drain off the excess oil. And as you can see, it's nice and golden brown on both sides. excuse the noise for the popping of the grease. So let's go ahead and get our next two right in the pot. And we're just going to do the same thing. Cook them for like 3 minutes on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cooking up the remainder of the chicken. 3 minutes on either side, and then we will come back. Okay, our chicken cutlets are now finished cooking. So remember, we were able to get 5 in some pieces that I fried up over here and made some little nuggets. So we're not going to be using those to do our chicken parm. I'm just going to be using the big 4 of these fillets. So let's start with our sauce. You can use whatever sauce you like, whatever's your fave. And you want to get a nice amount of sauce on here. That's good. And then we're going to get a good amount of some mozzarella cheese on top. And we're just going to let this cook in the oven until our cheese is melted and it's all nice and hot and bubbly. So I preheated my oven to 375, and I'm going to go ahead and pop this in the oven until the cheese is nice and melted, and also your sauce should actually start to bubble up. And then your chicken parm will be ready to serve. I'm actually going to be making it over some linguine, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So let's go ahead and pop this in the oven. All right, everybody. So as mentioned, we're going to be making some linguine to go with our chicken parmesan. So I just have a regular box of linguine noodles here. And what I'm going to do is just break them in half. You can leave them whole. Some people like to leave them whole, but I find them to be rather long. So I'm just going to get this into a pot of boiling water. Boil them till they're nice and al dente. And we will be serving our chicken over our noodles. So I'm just going to go ahead and break them in half and get them in there. So I'm going to go ahead and boil these off, and then we will come back with our finished product. All right, now that our pasta has finished boiling, I have it in the strainer draining. So what I'm going to do is show you how I'm going to season up the linguine. So in the pot, I have 2 tablespoons of avocado oil, and I'm going to add a tablespoon of minced garlic. This is the minced garlic that comes in a jar already cut up. Feel free to use fresh garlic, but I have the one that's in the jar, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. So we're just going to saute this garlic and just brown it for about 1.5 minutes, so like 90 seconds. And if you like garlic, go ahead and make it garlic heavy. Put as much as you like. Enough for me. So what I want to do at this point is add the linguine back to the pot. A little at a time. And here's our linguine going back in. And you can use olive oil if you want. I just find that avocado oil has a lighter flavor, so I actually really like it. I started using it recently. You just want to just stir it as you go along to just get all your pieces nice and coated. I'm also going to add a bit of seasoning, not too much actually. I just have here some salt, black pepper, let me come over here. Salt, black pepper, and a drop of red chili flakes. The salt is a 1/2 teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon of red chili flake. I'm also going to add a sprinkle of some parsley. Just a couple dashes. Alrighty, just enough to just season it lightly. I'm also going to be adding a drop of sauce to our pasta. We're going to have it, again, remember, the chicken parm will be served over the pasta, but I don't like it just plain. So I do like to add a little bit of seasoning and some sauce. You could actually eat the pasta just like this, actually. That would be good, but why not add some sauce? Alrighty, so now that we got the pasta in the pot, let's go ahead and add a little bit of sauce. Not too much, just enough to just give it a little start, so to speak. I don't want it like dry below our chicken. So here, this is what our pasta is looking like. It's very lightly sauced. I would say I added about a half a cup. So about a half a cup of sauce to our linguine. And now our pasta is ready to be served below our chicken. So let's get plated. All right, everybody. So we are back and our chicken parm is now out of the oven. I will definitely be adding more sauce as I serve it over our linguine. And I will show you that when I plate it. You can also feel free to add additional cheese, sauce it up, cheese it up like you like it. All right, so I will be back and show you our plated dish. All right, everybody, so here we have it, our chicken parm with our plated linguine. I just sprinkled a little drop of extra cheese on top. So let's go ahead and give our chicken a quick taste. So start over here on the corner. And it's actually really seasoned nicely, lightly breaded. You don't need anything else to it, not at least to my taste. You don't need to add anything else. Hopefully you will make this and enjoy it as much as I will. Now that was my take on making chicken parmesan. So go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you can cook some additional dishes with me. And I will see you again next time. Thanks for watching.